Greetings, everyone. I'm Tanya Love, and welcome to our brand new show. Today, I'm basically launching the very first show, and so honored to be here for all of you. We really welcome you to write in with any questions that you have, or call in if you have questions or comments that you'd like to share. And I'd like to introduce my angel behind the scenes, Amnon. So if you want to show them yourself, Amnon.
I can't show myself, not when we're
Oh,
on the air.
oh, he
It's not
can't show
going to
himself.
work, but I
Well,
am but I am here.
there he is. Well, he's going to be helping me so that I can just really offer all of you my presence and really stay in the now. And I tend to work best this way, just letting things flow through me. So if you have questions, just write them in. And if we're not able to answer all of your questions, don't get frustrated. Just keep trying, write in again, or I can try to answer them at the end of the show. Um, and if we get enough questions, then I can just do another show to delve deeper into whatever it is that everybody's ready to understand. So feel free to write in and share your comments and share your questions, and we'll get to know each other. So basically, I would like to introduce myself and just explain how I even got here because I felt like this would be a fun way to express some wisdom and help others understand that life can be really fun, it can be really playful, and everything that you're truly wishing for and desiring can just come to you. You don't really need to go chase it. You don't need to make it happen and go out there and try to spin your wheels all the time. So, basically, a few weeks ago, I was synchronistically drawn to one of Lisa Transcendent's shows, and I saw that it was starting in a few minutes, so I got online and I watched her show live, and then I got, chatting with Julie during the show. And afterwards, she asked to chat with me. We kind of exchanged information, and she was just asking me questions, and we ended up Skyping, and she wanted to do an interview with me. So I was kind of like, okay, that sounds fun. And I ended up interviewing with her. I think it's been a week or two now. And it led to an opportunity to do this show. And I feel like it's so fun and synchronistic how this all came to be because I was recently expressing to the universe that I was ready to expand and share this wisdom with many more people. And whoever was ready for it, that they would just be summoned to me. And then Amnon offered me this show. So thank you, Amnon, for listening.
Thank
And it'll
you.
be very fun. This is going to be fun and very magical how this all flows. So the reason I share that is because I see people, a lot of clients that I assist, struggle a lot in their lives with feeling like there's not enough. They're in this scarcity consciousness, this lackful way of seeing things. And when we're in that consciousness, we tend to really try to go make things happen. We feel like we have to go prove ourselves. We have to earn it. We have to be worthy in some way. And it's very much in a go out there and do it, seize it kind of thing. And a lot of times I see people really causing harm to each other, even from that stimulation of ego where they feel like they have to do whatever it takes to get what they want. And there is another way. There is a totally fun, magical way that's available. And that's the way that I'm here to mirror to all of you is that you can desire something and you can have a calling inside of you to share, but you really don't have to go out there and chase it down. You don't have to work so hard. A lot of that, I would say, conditioning in us comes from us being told very young that we need to work hard, that we're not quite worthy, that there's always someone better than us, and that we have to prove it or earn it in some way. And so that's the old way. And that old way pretty much sucks. And so I'll just say, I used to live in that world and it was not very fun. And the new way that's being opened for us to embrace is a way of flowing, a way of trusting, and really tuning into your inner knowingness, your inner feelings. And so if you can tune in and just think of a dream you have right now, something that you'd like to manifest, and if you want, you can close your eyes and just really feel what that will feel like when that aligns and when that shows up in your movie. And so if you can feel that every day, get that sensory awareness of feeling and trust that you're already worthy, really understand that the entire universe is here to support you, is here to support your growth, and wants you to not only succeed and to do well, but really thrive. Like, none of us are really here merely to survive. That's the place we've come from. We walked through that darkness, we walked through that lackful place, the land of lack. And now it's time for us, if we're ready, we can go higher and we can allow things to flow in much more naturally. And it's really fun. And so, one of the things that I help clients with is clearing away anything that's blocking them or causing an obstacle to their success and their fulfillment. And so the reason this is so important to clear away those blockages is because if something came in, an opportunity came in and arrived, and you didn't feel you're worthy, then you would probably block that. You'd probably, oh no, that's okay, I'm not quite ready. And so you would turn it away. And basically, you'd shut the door on the universe, and the universe would say, okay, I guess she's not ready or he's not ready. And then you'd be right where you were. So it's really important to not just in theory feel like you're worthy, like, well, I believe I'm worthy, but 23, 24 hours of the day, I sit around and think about how I'm really not worthy, and my internal dialogue is terrible, and I don't think I'm good enough, but I smile to the world and I make them believe everything's fine. So it's really important that we start to be really honest with what we're feeling inside and to honor that and to really embody that sense of feeling worthy. Even if it right now doesn't feel like that's true, then that's something that you have room to improve. That's something that you can bring your awareness into and see, okay, I'm aware that I don't always feel worthy. I'm not going to resist that, but I'm ready to clear that. Maybe we can talk to our angels about clearing that away and helping us to have the courage to really embody our power, to really step in our power, and to know that we deserve so much more. And that we're here to share our wisdom and our gifts, and that we're here to have fun. I really feel life is meant to be fun and playful, and I'm just not one of those people that takes everything very seriously. And it's so much more of a relief. If we sit around and we're worrying all the time, we really stress ourselves out unnecessarily. So, for example, when this opportunity came along to do the interview with Julie, which I am so grateful for that opportunity, she asked me in and I just arrived. I didn't really need to do anything else except for be present. And then I know when I'm present, I can allow Source and higher spirit to channel through me whatever is necessary at this time. So if we can clear out that ego that tells us we need to, memorize 1,000 books on spirituality or whatever it is that we're interested in, we can clear that. It really will be more efficient use of our energy to just arrive and just be present. So I feel like I was led to share that with you because that's kind of what I am mirroring to all of you on how I even got to this moment in time. And whatever comes of this will be perfect. And I don't really mind what happens. And that's a really refreshing place to be than to be in a place where you feel like you have to prove yourself or you have to be the most intelligent on some subject. That's really not important. And our presence is so powerful. It's such a gift. So I just want to mirror that to all of you that maybe are struggling in some way, or you have these dreams and desires and you're just like, how do I get that to happen for me? How do I, come into my power and really allow these magical things that I would like to experience to come to me? The next thing I would say it's really important to understand is that nothing outside of you is where we should be seeking our fulfillment. So if we feel empty inside and we're seeking this next job or this next opportunity or this next relationship, that emptiness will always be waiting for you. No matter what you accomplish, what you achieve, it'll still be waiting for you to deal with. So kind of tune into what your intention is. And if you can get everything inside in alignment and in that feeling of having, in that feeling of worthiness, then you will naturally and magically just attract it to you. It'll just flow right into your little movie. So tuning in and just realizing that our inner worth is something we're healing and assisting on the inside, the external reality is going to shift connected to the internal shift. So, really tune in and notice, are you out there spinning your wheels? Are you trying to get more stuff, more relationships, more people that love you and adore you, bigger car, bigger house, whatever it is? If that's true, be gentle with yourself and just acknowledge that. And then have the courage to start a daily practice of meditation and really tune in and feel, what is this sense of emptiness that keeps me seeking, keeps me always looking out there. So that's a really great foundation for the topic today, which we're going to talk about healthy boundaries. And I feel like the essence of healthy boundaries begins with self-love. So if we have been, for example, if we have lived a life where we had endured a lot of abuse of some kind, healthy boundaries are not going to seem normal to us. So it's really important that we tune in and we really allow ourselves to understand that we're in a process of learning and we're in a process of cultivating these new habits, you could call them, these new ways that we're going to handle life. And to really understand that there's a lot of healing that may be necessary, especially if you've had a lot of abuse. Many people that have gone through that darkness, they tend to tuck it away. They don't want to deal with it. It's too painful. It's stressful. And so let's just tuck that in, shove it down, and go get busy, go buy a big old Hummer, whatever it is. And so it's really important that we understand that healing that self-worth woundedness, the abandonment wounds, those things that are unconscious that many don't even understand how much they affect them day to day, that's important to heal that so that we can really embody our power. We can really fulfill our destiny and live a fulfilled and happy life. So, on the subject of healthy boundaries, this whole spiritual shift that's happening is very much connected to our self-worth. And it's important that we all understand that we are worthy of love. We do deserve love. We do deserve support. There's a universe that is here that we're one with, and it wants to support us. It wants to fulfill our every wish and desire. And when we understand that and we're in our alignment with our self-worth, then we will understand what feels right to us, meaning right in this now moment, and what no longer serves us. So, for example, maybe you've been in a relationship that at one time was just, you put up and tolerated a lot of abuse. There was people lying to you, maybe your girlfriend or boyfriend's cheating on you or betraying you or whatever's going on. And you tolerated that and you tolerated that. A day will come when your self-worth starts to come into full effect. You will no longer tolerate or want to tolerate that. So it's really important that as we're feeling all this pressure to shift, and we can feel it pushing on us. I've seen so many clients expressing how they felt this intense energy moving in and how people have been acting more random and a little more angry and aggressive. And what Source tells me is that this higher wave of consciousness is coming in, and for us to embody that, we really need to release all that resistance that we've held onto for so long to evolve. And so a lot of us are being challenged to surrender old belief systems. Many of us are being challenged to surrender and release unhealthy relationships, release unhealthy thoughts that we hold about ourselves, and these limiting ways that we look at the universe. So it's really important that we understand that we're all going through this together, and it will get easier, and it can actually be kind of fun to evolve when we go with the stream rather than fight it. So I think it was the other night in Candlelit Yoga class, I was talking about this with the students in class, and we were talking about when life has a wave of energy moving through, you can feel that, and you can, kind of like a surfer waiting to catch that perfect swell, you can just wait for that wave of energy to lift you up and carry you wherever it is that is now for your highest well-being. Or there could be someone in that same water that sees that wave coming, is freaked out, and thinks they need to control the universe and to stop that wave from happening. And they will go and try to hold that wave back, which good luck with that. And basically, they create a lot of suffering for themselves unnecessarily that did not have to happen. And so, if we start to learn to go with the flow and we start to embrace the change and just flow with it, life can be very fun, very magical, and our transformation can happen very swiftly. But those that resist and they just persist with that same, habitual habit to stay stuck and stay closed and look at the life that's in front of them from a place of lack, they're going to really struggle. And so I would say, when you're looking out into your movie, I say movie because this world is an illusion and we're all creating it. And I am co creating with Source what I desire to create by my thoughts, by my words, my actions. That's creating my movie. And each of you are creating yours as well. And so if we're really honest and we're in our power, there's no sense of victim here, then we can really start to look out from our camera lens as the director and look at that movie that you're creating right now and really acknowledge, is this what I desire? Is this what I want to create? Like, why have I created this? And then allow that higher consciousness in you to express to you that wisdom, that truth of what you've been taught from this experience, why this has happened, how this experience is here to help you and to teach you. And then if it's no longer serving you, whatever it is in your movie, be willing to release it. Because we need to really look into our habit to attach and to cling to things. That clinging behavior is really not helpful for us. It's not helping us in any way, actually. And it would be really wonderful if each of us could start to look out of our movie lens with less attachment and more desire for truth, more desire for what is best for me right now. And to not think that that means you're selfish, because I feel that's what so many that I talk to, they have this deep down belief system of, if I love myself, if I honor my own feelings, then I'm selfish. And that is something that you've all been taught by probably parents and teachers and leaders in your communities that were out of alignment, that gave up their power. They gave up that alignment in themselves of truth and to thine own self be true. And now, because they gave that up, they're angry and they don't like it. They're frustrated. So they're miserable. And if they're miserable, you should be miserable too. So that's kind of how this whole pattern happens, is there's these misaligned ones and they project that onto their children, and then the children basically embrace whatever they're told if they, if they are, I guess, in that place to give up that power. And some children don't. And those children often are labeled as bad children, or they're rebels, or, delinquents. And often those children, in fact, are very powerful spirits, very powerful spiritual warriors that have come here to really create a shift on the planet. And they came here to challenge the misalignment. They did not come here to submit or conform. And it's really important that we start to look at this on a global scale of how this is happening, so that we can have awareness. But don't be too distracted by the big picture. Just kind of look out every now and then and see that, have time to observe it, and then look into yourself in noticing how you're either catering to that misalignment or you are healing it. Because that's what we're all here to have the opportunity, is either to keep this old system going and to be a part of it, whether it's because we're angry and we're resisting it, we're fighting it, we're talking negative about it, or we could heal it and transcend it by keeping our positive focus, by being the change, by challenging those that are out of alignment with love and with compassion, speaking truth, but not feeling that we have to submit to others that are out of alignment or feeling afraid to speak our truth. It's really important that we know that we are here in this moment for a reason, and if there's something going on around us that's out of alignment, it's important that we can speak up about it. So that's kind of what's going on big picture on a global scale.
Hey,
And in
Tawnya,
each, yes, go ahead.
can you take a little break and talk to somebody who is calling in?
Yes.
Okay,
What do we
so
have?
talk to Dorothy.
Dorothy.
Hi.
How are you, Dorothy?
Oh, I'm
Hi.
hanging in there.
Yay. How are you
I thought
today?
I'd tune in and see what you were doing tonight.
Awesome. So do you have a comment or a question?
Well, if you're doing any kind of readings, I'm interested to see what my angels might have to say.
Oh. Well, what is it that you feel that drew you in today? Like, what do you feel like the angels are working on inside of you to clear? Like, do you have an awareness of what they're trying to help you clear out of your life?
I think right about now, if they're, they're probably helping me work on getting back on my feet. Say, the situation that I have with my town and my house.
Mm-hmm. So they're kind of helping you to rebuild. Are they helping you to, have you recently had like something occur that's just like your old movies kind of crumbling and you're getting the opportunity to recreate?
I guess in a way. I mean, everything I've been having a problem for since 2000, the end of 2007 with my town, and it's gotten to that point now where things are really, they're back into a stage of dangerous, shall we say, for me anyway, and where I'm living. But I feel like I'm at a point now where where I need to speak out, or I need to be like a badger and be aggressive rather than sit back.
So what do you mean by that? Like, do you mean you're being called to
Um,
stand in your power, speak your
I'm being
truth?
called to speak up and stand up for myself,
Yep.
I guess you could say, as opposed
Yes.
to just sitting back and hoping for the best. It's time that
Yes.
people really know, the powers that be understood. This is how I view the situation. This is how I view the way things have been, that sort of thing,
Mm-hmm.
and take it from there.
Yes. Well, one thing I would say what I'm getting right away intuitively is that Archangel Ariel, if you start to talk to Archangel Ariel and ask for Ariel to speak through you, to fill you with courage, to fill you with the power to stand up for yourself, to really step into whatever that direction that you're being guided to actually stand up for positive change. If you feel nervous, it's really, there's a wisdom in pausing and calling in your angels to be one with you, to surround you with their love and light, their protection, but to also speak through you with truth and power so that you don't feel afraid and you don't feel like you have to submit. And then just to really tune in and feel and discern moment by moment what they're leading you to do for the best in your life. So I'm definitely getting that feeling that this is a great life challenge for you, to help you. In a sense, it's like it's come here to teach you that you deserve better and you deserve more, and so do others. And someone needs to speak up. Someone needs to have the courage to actually be that change. And so I would really encourage you to call on Ariel and thank her for speaking through you and filling you with her illumination and light, her wisdom.
Okay, sounds good.
How does that feel to you?
Yeah, I do call on the angels, and for me, I will call on the angels. I'll call on my spirit guides. I'll call on fairies.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yes.
just part of how it is for me.
Yes. So call on them, but realize that you can allow them to be one with you. You can align with them so that I think that, there's this ability we have where we can call them in. I've done this many times where I'm in a situation and it's not really fun and someone needs to say something, someone needs to stand up to some injustice. And when I've called Ariel in to speak through me, it's amazing what comes out of my mouth and how powerful. And those that know me, friends and clients, they can tell when it's Tawnya speaking, and they can tell and feel when there's a shift and Ariel speaks through me, for example. And there's just a power and a presence, and it's really cool when you can allow them to be one with you and to really assist you in that level. Not feel like they're separate from you, but that they're one with you. And you can actually be kind of like that Xena warrior princess with the angels, taking action and then really listening and making sure. One word that you use that I would be cautious of is the word aggressive. I feel like when you go to speak about whatever it is you're feeling drawn to say, make sure that you're very balanced and centered. One thing you can do before you even go to talk to them is to ask Archangel Michael to come in and clear everybody of ego, to clear you of ego, to clear the ones you're going to communicate with their ego, so that everyone can see each other from their higher aligned selves. And so working with them and asking for that preparation before you go can be really powerful. And then when you go there, allow them to speak through you and expect the best. Expect goodness to come to you, and release any feelings that you have to fight or that there needs to be any kind of aggression, but rather just be calm and assertive. Just allow that assertiveness to come through you, but maintain that center and that calm place so that you can speak with truth and clarity and wisdom, but you don't have to feel at all aggressive. Does that make sense?
Right. It does. I mean, I think when I say aggressive, it's more like being like a badger. It's not so much being out there and becoming somebody that antagonizes and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand. I don't feel that with you at all.
Approach, but not being out there and ripping people to shreds and that sort of thing. No.
Yes. I don't get that from you at all.
It's me
but
standing
just
in
really
my power
watch...
and saying.
What was that? Sorry.
I said it's me standing in my power.
Yes. Yes.
Taking back my power that too many people think they should have.
Yes. That is exactly what we are all being encouraged to do right now. You just hit the nail on the head. It is all about coming back into our alignment and calling back all that power that we've given away. You could even do a really great meditation after this show if you want. Just go and turn on some calm music, relax and lay back, and just, when you're in that meditative space, tune into your heart center and call out to your angels, call out to the universe, and call back all of the power you've ever given away in all directions of time. And just be open to what this can bring for you as a shift. And just feel and imagine what that would feel like to have all that power that you've given away to others throughout this life and possibly many lives, all returning to you. All that energy and all that potential, you can use it and be very efficient with it. So that would be a really great exercise for you after this. What do you think about that?
I think it sounds good.
Awesome. Even get those fairies involved. Ask them to help too.
Now, it's something I have a lifetime that I know about, and that person she stood in her power.
I can't hear you anymore. Can you hear her, Amnon?
No.
Oh, are you still there? She faded away.
She's connected. But we can't hear.
Well, I guess we expressed what we needed to express, so I hope she can enjoy that meditation and definitely stepping into her power. That's really important. And we're all being challenged in our own way to do that. And I think to kind of drop that belief system, that old way of looking at angelic assistants of being like little fluffy stuffed animal angels and little cherubs, and they're cute and I love those paintings, but the energy and the essence that I get from angels when I'm working with them is powerful, and there's integrity and there's wisdom, and they don't tolerate misalignment. They really come in and assist, but we have to really call them in to ask for their help if we want to align with them, or we're free to do what we want to do and to struggle. So it's really a choice. No one's gonna, you're not in trouble if you don't call on the angels for help. But in my life, I've seen so much, um, what is it? So much of the experience has shown me how efficient and how powerful and how fun and magical it is to really align with your angels and listen to them, start to talk to them. And then I think that a lot of people talk to them. I'll hear clients say, well, I talk to them all the time, or I pray all the time. And that's great, but are you being quiet and are you listening? You know, I kind of joke with my meditation students that you could be sitting in a room and just talking to the wall and talking to the wall and talking to the wall and saying, I need help, and I need this and that. And you never stop talking, and the wall's just waiting for you to be quiet. And that's kind of how spirit is that we can keep talking, we can keep asking, but we need to also have that wisdom to be still and to be quiet. And when we are, that wisdom can come in and it can help us and assist us with the solution of what it is that we're tuning in about. So make sure that everybody's talking, but also listening.
All right,
Is there
now,
any other questions?
you're getting all kind of comments about how great you are.
Yay! I love you all.
From Kat and from Emanuela.
Oh, Emanuela. So that's funny
Yeah.
because Emanuela and Katerina, they're two of the students that come to the Candlelit Yoga class. So those are my soul sisters out there, and I'm so proud of them and so much. I've watched them shift through so much. So when I'm saying this stuff, they're probably laughing, thinking, oh, yeah, we've heard that before.
All right, and Julie's saying, I had someone cancel on me in the last minute. I
Okay.
expressed my feeling, and a friend said it was trying to guilt them. I was trying to guilt them.
Okay.
That wasn't the case. I felt needed to express my thoughts, and it came from a place of empowerment. Your thoughts?
I feel that that is something that is like one of the most subtle ways that we're tested with healthy boundaries is, you know, something happens. For example, you have a show and you're expecting a client to tune in and to be a part of that. And that's, you take that serious at a level because you're professional and you want, you know, to honor your commitment to your viewers. And then if that person forgets or whatever happens, something happens, if they don't honor that agreement and then try to twist that and guilt the person who was just showing up to help them with their show, that is one form of kind of a way that people can be out of alignment. And they do that because they don't want to really deal with their own misalignment. And so often there can be people, and I don't know who this person is or their history or anything, but a lot of times people have even like a perpetual habit of sabotaging themselves. They'll have an opportunity come and they'll somehow sabotage it. And then instead of claiming ownership over that, they'll try to blame others because then they don't want to feel like, you know, it's not my fault, it's their fault or whatever happened. And so I think it's really important not to take that personally. So for Julie to really understand, like, I'm not going to take that personally because I understand she can feel what's going on. But at the same time, it's very important that she speaks her truth and in the most loving way. And if she feels agitated at first, maybe don't call right then. Maybe wait like a half an hour, go meditate, get yourself really centered. And like I said, call in your angels and ask them to speak through you. And then when you talk to that person, you know, honor them, tell them how much you care about them and the good things about them that you love. And then let them know that you feel that there's a message that you really need to share because you care about them and you feel it will help them and it will benefit them. And I feel like so much of it's about the delivery, how we deliver a message to another, especially if they feel they've just failed you. They're going to be very defensive most likely, and they're going to be very guarded. So the more loving that we can handle that message of truth, the more powerful it can be received. Now, it doesn't mean that you need to be, you know, pushed around and like that didn't bother you. I think it's really important you tell the truth of how it made you feel, how it threw off your groove, and of course you handled it gracefully. You found a way to take care of it and to put another show on. But, it's important to express those feelings, because if we don't express our feelings, we'll suppress them in some way. And then we do that passive aggressive behavior and we feel tension with the other. We never talk about it. And that really is unhealthy. So I feel for Julie to have, for her to have dealt with that and to express her truth, that was really aligned and powerful. And then what the other does with that message is up to them. So it's really important that the more we speak our truth and the more aligned we are, we just speak from that place without any attachment of an outcome. And often there can be this beautiful opportunity where you help another to shift and to grow. They may not tell you that right away. They may kind of seem like they're mad at you and not talk to you for a while, but that's okay. Just speak your truth anyways and let them have their time to process it, because we all need our time. And hopefully, if she can do that and both are working in that goal of staying in alignment, there can still be this connection that can happen later, and it doesn't have to lead to any kind of, separation where you don't work together or anything like that. But yeah, these are the little subtle ways that people test our power and test our boundaries, see if we're gonna just cower over and take it and, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm sorry that you didn't do this or that. And it's our time of apologizing for others' misalignment is done. How about that, Julie? Any comments? Is she writing or?
No.
Okay. Well, hopefully that helped
Um,
her. Is there any other questions?
Beener is saying,
My sister.
said, great show. The wisdom of personal responsibility really spoke to me.
Awesome. I'm so glad. Yeah, and she's been through so much, and so many of us are, like I said, we're being tested on all different levels. For me, a year ago, I left a 20-year marriage, and that was not, I can smile now, but like 10 months ago, I wasn't as smiley, but it was really important that I embrace my power, that I step into it. And this was an ongoing thing for me. And there was no shifting happening on the other end as far as alignment and honor and respect. And I'm going to share this because I sense so many people that are challenged with these really big decisions. Like a decision like leaving a 20-year marriage is not a decision you take lightly. But some of us, there's a time that comes when we know that we have done all we could. We've put up with everything that we could possibly tolerate. We've done all the self-help and read all those books we could for ourselves while the other did nothing. And there comes a day when you just know enough is enough. And I think that that's something no one can tell you. No one's going to be able to tell you, you know what, that's just messed up, girl. I mean, your girlfriends will be like, that's so messed up, girl. You should so get over him. Like, they'll tell you that stuff. But really, like, my family knows there were times when I would go see them or I'd call them and I'd be hurting. And they're just like, what are you doing? Like, you so deserve better. But I had to figure that out myself. I had to realize when enough was enough. And we all have to go through that. And there's such a gift waiting for you if you have the courage to really allow all you deserve to come to you, to really show up. And for some of us, that beauty showing up is going to come once we've released what's not working. So it's a very personal decision of how long you tolerate abuse or mistrust or whatever it is that's going on in your movie. But as long as you know to stay centered in self-love and to not be too attached to what happens, you will know what to do. Like, you just have to trust your heart, and your heart will guide you. It will tell you exactly where you're meant to go. And you just have to have the courage to listen, because I think for some of my family a year ago, they were concerned about me. They were worried, like, oh my God, what's going on with Tawnya? And it was a shocker. And a lot of people that were used to pushing Tawnya around and having me do things from a place of, I used to be a pleaser. I used to really like, oh, I just want to please everyone. how do I keep everything together? How do I make sure they're not mad? Whatever it was, I was trying to keep it together. And I just, I woke up, my angels were working on me and they helped me see through new eyes. And I realized none of that was my responsibility. And my only responsibility was staying in alignment and loving myself and really knowing what I deserved and what I didn't, and taking the steps in the right direction of my soul's highest alignment. So each of you has to really be honest with yourselves. And if I can be here and mirror anything to you, it is that for myself personally, as I left what I call hell, because that felt like hell, and when I left it, it was scary at first, and I'm human. I had fear. I had waves of panic come in, and I rode them. And I just, none of us know what tomorrow holds, and we can either look at it with fear and let that fear, paralyze us, or we can look at it as an opportunity of, I don't know what's coming, but I'm so excited. And so that's pretty much the energy I chose to embody, and it has led me to this moment where I'm assisting and inspiring others. It's led me to this beautiful home that I live in this healing room that I'm sitting in, that I help clients in every day, with this amazing, beloved fiance that he's like the man of my dreams. And all of this came because I had the courage to release what wasn't working. And so in your life, you need to all be honest and feel like, is this something that I've been struggling with a long time? And is it something I'm trying to make happen? And if so, maybe just let go and thank Source, thank your angels for washing away what no longer serves you. And then be ready, because the path of alignment is a courageous path. And I have definitely walked this path alone many times. Alone meaning from feeling a sense of support from many of my closest people that were once with me. But I've realized and been shown that I've never been alone. I've always been supported by my angels, by Source, by spirit guides and loved ones. There's been beautiful soul family that Source has brought into my life when my family life crumbled and fell away. So I feel like we have to be so in alignment with our truth, and to thine own self be true means that you're not attached to anything. Source tells me, do not be attached to role and title. And that has been a test that has come to me so many times with family, with close friends. And when Source was showing me, these ones do not love you, they do not honor you, and it's up to you if you continue to tolerate this, or are you ready to release them and let them find their own way? Because all of us are being worked on. We're all in this shift together. We're all in the shift, None of us are free from this energetic movement, let's call it. And so just make sure that you know that you're worthy and that you deserve the best. And as you understand that, you will allow the universe to bring you these beings that support you and love you and want you to do well. And I am surrounded by these kind of soul family now that truly want the best for me and love me and support me. And they feel my love for them, my support for them. And it's this beautiful relationship of love flowing back and forth. So, really look into your movies and see what you're attached to, and release any victim energy. Really claim it, own it. You created it. Why did you create it? What are you ready to create now? That's a great place to observe from.
All right. Now, Kathy 10 is asking, do you know your angels' names?
I'm sorry, Kathy? Is that what you said?
Kathy 10, yeah.
Okay. Hi, Kathy. Well, there are so many angels, and there, like I was saying, I don't know if you saw Julie's interview with me, but there's certain angels that I feel come through very strongly, and many of us have heard of them, read about them, seen their paintings, and those angels have a stronger blueprint or a sense of reality, even though they're just as real as maybe an angel that we don't acknowledge. There's often angels that are loved ones that have passed on that are, in a sense, like a guardian angel around one of their family members, or it could be a pet, like a beloved pet that has recently passed away that stays near that soul as a guardian. So angels come in so many forms, but some of the angels that I work with daily in my angelic work, clearing, healing work that I assist with are Archangel Michael, Archangel Ariel, Haniel is a really powerful one that's always assisting me with my knowingness and helping me hear the messages of spirit. Um, I work with Metatron and Shamuel, Archangel Raphael, Gabriel. So there's so many. And if you're not sure which angels are around you, maybe start to get to know a little bit about different angels. You could just go into meditation and ask them to come to you. That's pretty much how they came to me. Is I've always felt connected to them my whole life, but I just started getting them coming in. Like Ariel would be coming in and she was giving me messages and bringing me signs so that I would know it was her. Like I remember one day I woke up and I was wondering like what angel woke me up this morning because I got awakened and was told that I was needing to leave my tribe. I was meant to assist with the awakening of consciousness on the planet. And this was a year ago, like right when all the crumbling of my world was coming down, and I'm looking out of my eyes at the gym and I'm seeing everyone's aura. I look over and I can see Archangel Michael is with this person walking by, and I looked at this elderly woman and she looked at my face and I saw a lion, just kind of like a hologram around her face. And I was just like, what is that? And so all this day, these little things were happening, and I remember journaling them, and I often will encourage my clients to journal their little synchronicities, their little signs that come in the day, because a lot of times we maybe don't understand what that one sign meant, but as we start to write it down, we can see that there's lots of little puzzle pieces coming in, and as we get those pieces and we gather them, it can create a picture. And so when Ariel was coming in, there's the lion. It was on a Friday, and I kept seeing the numbers 444, 44, and I was just like, what the heck? And this is before I was as aware about what all's going on as I am now, but back then I didn't understand it all. And so at the end of the day, I was driving home from the gym, and I'm playing. I got my Pandora music on, and I was like, I wonder if there's a Walt Disney station on Pandora, because I just listening to Disney music just makes me happy, okay? So I put it on, and Little Mermaid song came on, Part of Your World, which is one of my favorite songs. And so I'm singing it out, like everyone in the center could hear me probably. I'm just belting it out. And when I get home, I'm at the end of the day, I'm like writing up a flyer for this angel gathering because I had been encouraged to lead an angel gathering by my angel during my dreams. And I just get this intuition, like I need to go research Angel Ariel. Like the name just came to me, and I was like, what's up with Ariel? Like I need to go learn about this angel. So I'm Googling information and finding out about this angel, and I was reading this description, and different people were commenting on how Angel Ariel was often associated as the lioness of God, and that many who will be connected by her will see a lion. And I was just like, you got to be kidding me, because I saw this hologram of a lion around this woman's face. And then it said she was connected to, which I'm not sure because she's come to me so many times, but it said Friday, and that it happened to be a Friday. And she was connected with the numbers 4, like 444. And then I was thinking about that song I was singing, and the Little Mermaid's name was none other than Ariel. So it was a very playful way that the angels were coming through and letting me know who they were and who I was working with. And so in the beginning, if you're not sure who's coming through, just ask them for confirmation. I'm constantly asking my angels for clarity and confirmation. Like, explain, who is this? Or what are you trying to say to me in this dream? What did that symbol mean? So really look at this as an opportunity for you to have a dialogue with Spirit. You're having a conversation with Spirit, and you're asking, and then you need to be quiet and listen and observe your life, because they will be coming through with messages. They will start to send you signs. in fact, they've already been sending you signs. And so you will just start to be more aware of them. Because we already know when we start to really awaken, we look back at our life and we're like, oh my gosh, like they've been there the whole time bringing signs, but I just wasn't understanding it. I wasn't being quiet enough to actually discern where they were coming from. So hopefully that helps you. Any other
And
questions?
Emanuela is saying, yesterday and today, I have not been able to still the mind and have had excess energy. Any thoughts?
Well, yes. You're not alone in that. In the last few days, I felt a big wave of energy move in. And some people, they'll say, the planets are in a certain alignment and Mercury's in retrograde and all this stuff, and that can have a factor. But I felt just energy shifts moving in. So as we're shifting and our frequencies are raising in vibration, we're bringing in and assimilating and processing more and more energy. And so it's raising our vibration, it's raising the frequency. And for some, if we're feeling that hitting us and we don't really know what it is, and especially kind of like I was giving the reference of the ocean, if you're trying to stop that from happening, like, like this is freaking me out, what is this? Then that can create more disruption. It can create that sense of resistance, which can create more panic attack, more energy of fear. So it's really important that as you feel that energy coming, you acknowledge it, like, woo, I'm feeling some shifts in energy, because everything's energy. We can feel those frequencies. We can feel the shifts happening. So allow it to come and touch you and just go with it. Just allow it to come in. Just open yourself up to receive all this higher frequency, all this higher vibrational energy. And it's really going to help you to go with that instead of feel like you're resisting it. So I hope that helps, but you're not alone. It's happening to all of us. It's happening to the planet, and the planet is raising its vibration and frequency, and there's an expansion happening. And so we're drawing in that frequency as well. We're feeling that shift. It's affecting us in an electromagnetic way. So many of us may feel more thirsty. We might feel more agitated, like we can't sleep or restless. We just feel very high vibration, so our minds are very active. Just let it kind of come in and let it process, and try not to feel like you need to control it or make it stop, but just be with it. Just be present. How about that?
I'm sure she agrees with you.
Awesome. Anything else? Any other questions?
Nope.
Okay. Well, let's see. Since we just have a few more minutes, I'll just give you all some tools that you could put into practice until we connect again. We basically will be doing this show to start out every other Monday. So not next Monday, but the one after, we will connect again. And in that time, that gives you a couple weeks to really put into practice these tools. It would be fun for all of you to do that and then come back and connect on the show, and then let me know what you've experienced, what's shifted for you, what have you observed in your movie. So this week, if each of you is open, and just think of it as like a week and a half, and it's not a huge commitment, but give yourself permission to be open to trying new things. So if you're a person that tends to always be giving to everybody else, you're always helping everybody else, you're attached to how they live, what they do, if they're doing it at the right time. And without being, in that place of denial, really look at that behavior to control and to try to project on others how they should be living for just this week or two. If you can let that tendency inside of yourself go. So think of it as an opportunity to release. You're just going to let everybody go. You're going to allow them to do their own movie, realize, you know what, we're all in this bigger movie together, and we're all, honestly, when we're aligned, we're all seeking that highest alignment for ourselves. So in a sense, we're selfishly focused, because self-love is about loving self. So when I honor myself and then my friend honors their self, we may flow together at times, or there may be times when life is taking us in a different direction. And for this next week or two, if you can let yourself be okay with that and not try to control the flow, so really be mindful of the tendency in you to try to control it and just let that go and give yourself time every single day to connect with Source. Even like the first thing when you wake up, if you could start a new habit of as soon as your eyes open, you're processing your dreams. You're asking your angels to help you understand what those dreams meant and what, wisdom is coming to you. And then maybe journal for a minute, just any thoughts that come to you. And then take a moment to just thank life that you just woke up. You have another day here, so that's pretty awesome. And just have a heart of gratitude. And when you stand on the ground, as soon as you get out of that bed, just feel your feet touching the earth and just affirm, I am grounded. Let your body just feel grounded and connected. And then from your crown, from the top of your head, just imagine that crown chakra opening up and you're connected with Source. And if you're feeling any sense of fear or worry, call in the angels and affirm that I am protected. So starting your day with this reverence for life, we're grateful to be here. We're connected, we're grounded, we're protected, and setting an intention of what it is that you would like to call into your day. So instead of just jumping out of bed and hitting the alarm and racing and hitting your toe and almost cutting somebody off in traffic because you're in this panic to get somewhere, if you could catch that and instead move with awareness and move with intention. In that day, be honorable to yourself, and everyone that asks you a question, every interaction that comes to you for just a couple weeks, have integrity and really be true to yourself. If somebody asks you to do something and you don't really want to, you get this feeling, say no. And you don't have to explain why. Just say, I'm just not available for that. And the more you can do this, the more you can learn to say no, the more you can learn to say yes to the things that really excite you, and giving yourself time with Source, go into meditation every day. I will connect with Source several times through the day very consciously, but I feel like I'm always connected with Source now, like I'm always listening. But there's times where we need that deep listening. Right before I see a client, I will be in meditation. I'm just really clearing my mind. I'm emptying it, and I'm just very present and an open channel for Source. So the more that we can connect in that way, it will help us to feel connected to the universe and to feel that higher consciousness streaming in, which will make everything in our day more efficient. The magical things we want, if we can meditate and feel what it feels like to have them, feel what it feels like to have that new job or that life partner that you're a playmate with and you're having fun together and you snuggle and you just get along so well and you see each other and you adore each other. So close your eyes each day and feel that. Imagine that. Use your imagination in a powerful way. And then as life starts to bring in opportunities to release what's no longer working, let it go and stay open to what you're creating and what you're calling forth from the universe. So there's a few practices for you. Just how to start your day, how to stay connected, and let go of your need to control the universe. The universe is doing a great job. We don't really need to control it. But we do need to turn that focus inward, and it would really serve us to put that focus right here where we can empower ourselves and be true to ourselves, which is how we're going to help in the shift for the planet. So I encourage you all to have a beautiful couple weeks here living in alignment and in integrity and with greater awareness. So thank you all so much for tuning in, and until next time, have a beautiful, blessed day, and go out there and just shine like only you can shine. Namaste.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. Our weekly lineup of call-in programs includes Computers 2K Now with Amnon Nissan, Health In with Debbie Bruck, Breaking Free with Marilyn Shannon, Lessons of Vietnam with NCVVI members, The Tawnya Love Show, Reawaken Your Brilliance with Julie Seibert. And if you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it at www.nissancommunications.com. Sponsored by Atomus.com, makers of quality video recorders and converters for professionals. ThatVidBlasterGuy.com, CarolinaApparel.com, and DeltaForce.net.